Welcome to the October 6th Blue Springs City Council meeting. If you will stand with me, I will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You can be seated. We'll now call the meeting to order. First item on the agenda is confirmation of a quorum.
Councilmember Kaler.
Present.
Dolan.
Present.
Brummel.
Present.
Erickson.
Present.
Edmondson.
Here.
Rowan.
Here.
Mayor Levesey.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Next item is a consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, roll call.
Councilmember Kaler.
Aye.
Dolan.
Aye.
Brummel.
Aye.
Erickson.
Aye.
Edmondson.
Aye.
Rowan.
Aye.
Mayor Levesey.
Aye.
Carried unanimously.
Okay, next item is a public hearing. However, we're going to continue that, or at least the applicant is requested to continue. The first thing I'm going to do is open the public hearing. So we're going to call it opened. And now I will accept a motion to continue.
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, no? Does that need to be continued to a date certain?
Yes.
Okay. Do I need to
October 20th.
re-motion that then?
I think it's sufficient. October 20th.
Your Honor,
Councilmember Kaler.
I would add to my motion October 20th.
Thank you, Councilmember Kaler.
Councilmember.
I would second that motion, sir.
Let's voice vote that again just for the record. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, no? Motion carries. We continue to October 2nd. Next item is
sir.
item 5.
October
Councilmember Kaler.
20th.
October 20th. Thank you, Councilmember Kaler. Next item 5 is similar. We have a public hearing we're going to continue. I'm going to open the public hearing. Now accept a motion to continue that specifically to November 3rd if somebody so moves.
So move to November 3rd.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, no? Motion carries. We'll continue item 5 to November 3rd. So I do have a speaker appearance form, but it's not really, would that be for item 12? Okay. So, Mr. Mann, this is how we do this now. We're in the part where we'll have public comment for the items that are coming up. Item 12 is a motion to direct staff to create an entertainment district. If you'd like to come up and tell us what you think about that, we don't have any discussion on it yet, but this is the part of the meeting where you get a chance to do this. So, if you want to, you got 3 minutes to tell us what you're thinking.
Okay, thank you. I don't really have anything prepared. I just wanted to come and hear the discussion, voice my support for creating a downtown entertainment district. I know places that have it, you see a lot of foot traffic, and I know that's what we're trying to accomplish with our downtown. So it's going to be to the advantage of businesses. It's going to be to the advantage of people coming downtown to where they can maybe grab a drink one place, go grab some food somewhere else, and just create a more lively downtown. So that's all I've got.
All right,
Just wanna
thank you
voice
for
my-
your feedback. That's great.
Of course.
Next, we'll then go to item 7, which is introduction and reading of Bill 5354, a code amendment relating to animals. Will somebody introduce it?
I will introduce it.
First reading of Bill 5354, an ordinance amending sections of Chapter 215 of the Code of Ordinances, City of Blue Springs, Missouri, relating to dogs, cats, animals, and dangerous animals.
Your Honor, I move to continue the first and second readings to the first meeting in November, which I believe is November the 3rd, 2025.
Okay, I have a motion from Councilmember Erickson to continue this item to the first meeting in November. Do I have a second on that motion?
Second.
Okay, got a motion, a second. Is there any discussion?
Your Honor,
Councilmember Erickson.
the reason I want to do that is there are just, in my opinion, some ambiguities and some wording that I'd like to have changed, and I don't really feel like wordsmithing that. At this, I'd like to see it brought forth where it's a little more comfortable for at least myself.
Okay. Any other discussion on the motion? Can I do this with the voice vote? Motion, okay. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, no? Motion carries. We will continue item 7 to the first meeting in November, which I believe is November 3rd. Next item is item 8, introduction and reading of Bill 5355, a contract with Lauber Municipal Law.
I'll introduce it.
First reading of Bill 5355, an ordinance approving a contract between the City of Blue Springs and Lauber Municipal Law LLC for legal services.
Your Honor, I move to approve on the first reading and move to the second.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Second reading.
Second reading of Bill 5355, an ordinance approving a contract between the City of Blue Springs and Lauber Municipal Law LLC for legal services.
Your Honor, I move to approve the second reading, provide the proper ordinance number.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Tholen.
Aye.
Brummel.
Aye.
Erickson.
Aye.
Edmondson.
Aye.
Rowan.
Aye.
Kaler.
Aye.
Mayor Levesey.
Aye.
Carried unanimously and given ordinance number 5457.
Next is item 9, introduction and reading of Bill 5356, accepting a quitclaim deed.
I'll introduce it.
First reading Bill 5356, an ordinance accepting a quitclaim deed for property from the Land Bank of Blue Springs.
Your Honor, I move to approve the first reading and move to the second.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Second reading.
Second reading of Bill 5356, an ordinance accepting a quitclaim deed for property from the Land Bank of Blue Springs.
Your Honor, I move to approve the second reading, provide the proper ordinance number.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Erickson.
Aye.
Oh, I'm sorry, I went out of order. Councilmember Brummel.
Aye.
Erickson.
Aye again.
Edmondson.
Aye.
Rowan.
Aye.
Kaler.
Aye.
Tholen.
Aye.
Mayor Levesey.
Aye.
Carried unanimously and given ordinance number 5457. I know that the previous ordinance should have been 5456.
Okay. Next item, we have a presentation from our friends at Retail Strategies. I believe Mr. Cam South is going to come up and give us a presentation.
Is it broadcasted or do I need to plug in?
Say that again.
I said, do I need to plug in or I think?
Nope, you can just tell me to,
Mike's
tell me to
got
hit
your
next slide.
presentation over there. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Well, Mayor, Council, glad to be here. Hope you guys are doing well. I know there's a game tonight, so I don't know how many of you guys are Chiefs fans, but I'm not going to take up too much of your time here. If we can pop over to it. All right, so we do our presentations yearly here for the city contractually here. So Stephen Dendy's, he's our retail recruitment coordinator. He's running the ground. He's the one that's on the phone call with the brokers, property owners, pretty much doing the deal from the beginning to end, and providing us all with the updates and feedback. But we have an extended team. Probably a new face you see on there is Matt Yeager. He came in. He's moving up positions and kind of assisting our entire implementation team with our ongoing projects, special projects, things on that line. And Clay Craft, he's our VP of Client Services. Lacey Beasley, our president. If you're familiar with ICSC, she's pretty well set there. She's on the board of trustees, and Scott Von Canner, our COO, that kind of works with us all on our day-to-day task as an implementation team. We served over 1,000 plus clients so far since 2014, 48 dedicated in implementation department. We have a bigger company than that with both our companies on one umbrella, 1,200 plus business recruited across the country. I already mentioned ICSC, but we're involved across the board in many things. We, on our sister company, represent a bunch of brands. But on our side, our company is where it's consulting and recruitment in. We work with brands all across the board, most national brands that you can think of. With that, we're part of Main State programs, Main Street programs, ICSC and LLC. We have a large amount of CCIM members in our office, and as well as brokers in our portfolio. Move on to the next one. Again, kind of what we do. Keep this short, simple. From a 30,000 foot view, we're like the Match.com of retail and real estate. So again, we're evaluating the opportunities here in the community. Stephen's placing those opportunities in front of the retailers, the brokers, to get their feedback. Of course, there's challenges, hurdles, and many things like that. You guys may have a redacted version of that in front of you guys. So I'm speaking very general terms here. So you guys have that in front of your eyes, just for public sake. But again, we're a full service arm, full service commercial brokerage firm, full service retail recruitment firm. Again, speaking in very high level, very redacted terms here. Currently working with national chicken user. where we have a franchisee that is getting in place here for the market. We are sending sites. Currently, the feedback we've gotten on some of those sites are the price of them and the relatively size and availability of the site. So this user is looking for about an acre and a quarter of space. The franchise development director is very familiar with the community and the franchisee. So again, trying to find that opportunity that makes financial sense for this retailer to land in Blue Springs, but we're just not finding it right now. They have very specific measurements where they want to be. They want to be close to the interstate as well as off of 7 Highway. So that's kind of that one little 1 mile ring they want to look at. Next is we got a sporting goods prospect. This is one we've been working for quite some time to get them here in the market. They are a little bit hesitant well, we actually got 2 national sporting good users looking at the community right now, but one, is very particular on rents, very favorable for the lower rents, and they need somewhere around that $4 mark in order to make a deal work. And we just don't have that opportunity for their square footage. And they know the opportunity for Blue Springs, is kind of looking for a needle in a haystack for that size box. I bounce over the other one is a very well-known national outdoors sports store that's need synergy. Think about Adams Dairy. They need that space over there as well to kind of bring that synergy to the brand. That's kind of where they co-tenant best with. As in retailer's sake, we are working with a national health grocer to come to the community. Again, there's feedback from them that's a little bit, not right now, but maybe in the future if the right opportunity comes to play. We are looking at some entertainment prospects as well for the community to kind of, fill in that space and that void, that gap that needs to be served here. And we came real close with a LOI on a former low price. I'm trying not to give away site specifics, but a former low price retailer box here in the community. But again, the price point from what the retailer was asking for just couldn't come to terms or agreement with that property owner. Again, just giving a high level view of the process here. Looking at your demographics, your analytics, it's kind of a full 360 every year. But we're looking at, the demographics, they change very often. We want to make sure that we're prospecting the right retailers, including the feedback that we get from them comes back to understanding the community as a whole. The retail prospects and the site specific requirements, there's certain sizes or certain areas of town they want to be in. There's certain traffic counts that they want to follow and stay within. Again, that influence program, what retailers are here in the community already. We kind of had a little quick drill earlier today looking at some of the performances of the retailers in Blue Springs now to understand like, hey, this may be the next step, or this brand's struggling, so we can't justify this. And just kind of understand the retailer timeline. It's again, I'm gonna try to not take too much time on this because I can go for an hour just on this, but it's influence from, if you're an investor in Fortune 500 companies, you're holding stock in these companies, starts at that Wall Street level. That real estate director, is targeted to grow the company. You're gonna do that 2 ways. Is either sell more or open new brick and mortar to communities where you can expand that brand. So that real estate director identifies those markets. They say, hey, Blue Springs, we want to open up a location here, maybe some other locations across the metro. Well, that real estate director, manager, he's sitting in an office in Chicago or New York or LA. He doesn't know this community like that. So he has to work with a local tenant broker. Think about your local brokerage houses here now. They rep a lot of brands on their behalf. So that guy or girl is going around driving, collecting sites. This is where you see the green is kind of where we influence, a lot of that for, our clients and for you. It's here because we have a relationship based with these real estate directors. So we get that feedback directly from those directors and from those brokers. That tenant rep submits those sites to the real estate committee. They're understanding, they're trying to see if this is a viable site, how does it look financially, is there any infrastructure issues, just trying to go through a checklist of different things. And then it gets to the financial aspect of it. Is it a build to suit, is it a lease, is it a sale? Kind of how those numbers look like on an initial view of pro forma. And then it goes to LOI, and this is where a lot of people hear the LOI and they're like, "Oh my God, this and that." I'm like, this is only the beginning part of the deal. This is where, the first red lines of anything and structure is coming into place. Goes back to the real estate committee for review again. They're trying to punch a hole in this sheet to make sure, that it can ring in the binder. So they're going over financials, size, purchase opportunity, whole different things, scope. That clears, it goes to a sale or goes to a lease, depending on the deal. And then that's when you will see those permitting starting to come in, or you see developer construction. You start seeing that going off the ground, a lot of rumblings across the community, and then the opening of that business. So outside of kind of what is what we do on day to day, but we're presenting, we're doing a ton of different things. We're updating those property catalogs, running fresh new void analysis. We're attending these trade shows on your behalf. We're creating updated aerials. We just went to we're transitioning over to a new demographer, where that's going to definitely help us, kind of dig a little bit deeper and understanding, hey, with the hurdles of cost and size of properties, how can we apply a different metric, to bring some of these brands into the community. But we also, supplying like market outreach reports. You can see or you hear every day of certain brands that are filing for bankruptcy. You probably saw recently with the filing from Starbucks of they're shutting down so many stores. So, we're keeping you up to date on that, and if those opportunities affect, your community and affects Blue Springs. Again, we're looking at that tapestry or that mosaic or the community to see the changes in the consumer layout. Again, continuing that, being proactive. We have a thing in our company called persistent follow-up, and that's pretty much saying we're going to keep knocking and ringing you until you pick up the phone or you give us some feedback that we could share, or some feedback that we can give some direction, or you can give us some direction to with as well. And then a lot of that's just more of the data and the different things that we're doing on the day-to-day. All right, so I know you guys have that unredacted sheet in front of you. If you have questions on that, try to be somewhat redacted. I don't know how to necessarily explain that the best, but if you have questions, please.
Do you have any questions from the council for Mr. South here? I've got a couple, and some of them are reflective of the same when you made a presentation last year.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned a few things about what you're hearing feedback about coming to Blue Springs. Mm-hmm. Can you elaborate on? I mean, that's part of what we've really wanted is why are people not coming here? What are we missing in order to be competitive in those markets? So what can you tell me about what the feedback you're getting? Yeah.
Well, the feedback is kind of general across the board across the country right now. That's just the cost of things is a huge thing. We're seeing some brands think about like Harbor Freight. A lot of their product is made in China, so those tariffs that affect that. So even though they're not getting a lot of disruption, they're preparing for it, and a lot of brands are preparing for slowdowns in inventory and all that. They're preparing for a slowdown in sales, so they're kind of like putting a stop on everything. And then you look at Starbucks, that's like doing these reconstruction of their brand, remaking their brand because they know where they're going right now. Is it turned out to be profitable. But the problem that we're seeing here, and we were talking about this today, is when you have an empty box, a former QSR box, they want $160,000 a year for in rent. It's almost impossible to fill that with a new to market franchisee that pays half that, for rent. So, and that landowner is just going to continue they're still getting paid even though that brand is, no longer in the community. That lease is still in place and that corporate location is still paying that price until that. So there's no incentive for them to want to move down in the dollars. Like, why would I, trade a steak in for a piece of cheese. So right now our biggest hurdle is the site availability and the sizes we need for some retailers. That's box space to restaurant space right now. We just don't have that larger parcel. Like there's 2 sporting goods stores that want to be here right now. We just don't have that space. We are monitoring some opportunities at Adams Dairy right now, so that may open up. But the problem there, especially with new construction of 180,000 square feet of retail space, it's incredibly expensive to build right now. So especially the cost, or the double of the cost it takes for materials and construction right now. So our biggest hurdle is having the available second gen space and the price per square foot, or the sales opportunity price.
So I'm hearing you say we don't have enough empty buildings. Is that what you're telling me?
You don't have enough empty buildings or opportunities that are directly correlated to how the brands want or what they are looking for. And these brands are okay right now, just holding off until the right opportunity comes, to fruition. You think about like the Seven Brew, for example. That deal was going on for 3 years. It's 2023. So, they weren't in a rush to find the right opportunity. They weren't in a rush to hop on any corner or any side in the market. They wanted a very specific site. You think about like Small Sliders, where they went on that corner. It's probably not the best access to get in it, but they said, hey, we can get this site for cheap. We could probably get there sooner than later to, again, expand that brand. At the end of the day, these brands still have to meet somewhat of a quota of stores opening, because it goes back to, Wall Street, the investors in these companies, to bolster their dollars in these groups.
A lot of what we've heard the community ask for is more of those full service restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk about, any, not project specific, but any outreaches you've done or anything on the landscape of what that looks like right now?
Yes, we do. We've reached out. We've reached out to 2 different steakhouses that are interested in the community. There's actually, yes, I'm trying to not be.
Yeah, sure. I get it. Yeah.
We've reached out to a couple steakhouses. We've reached out to somewhat of an Italian dinery, full service. They need bigger parking requirements. Think about 150 to 200 cars parking. So we're looking at a minimum of 3.5 acres to get them settled in place. We just, again, don't have the opportunity where they want to be in the community. Now, there's plenty of space here. There's plenty of flat land. There's plenty of great opportunities if you're looking at it, again, from 30,000 foot view. But if you're kind of honing in on what they want and what they want to be placed in, those opportunities are not there, or they're taken. So think about, like, when I say those steakhouses, think about the out parcels at like Adams Dairy and whatnot. That's kind of what they're looking for, until we can find someone to build that next Adams Dairy, or find that opportunity off 7 Highway that makes sense for them. It's going to be a little tougher to bring them, but the interest is there in place. And again, this is why and the more pressure that comes along with these brands wanting to be in the market again, when I go back, there's 2 things: they're either going to wait or they're going to figure something out. So we just got to keep pushing and pushing and pushing, or being creative and selective, and either assembling properties or understanding, hey, if does this brand have a smaller concept? Think about Buffalo Wild Wings. They have a Go concept, which is maybe just under a quarter of the size. It's about 12 to 1,500 square feet. So they usually, sometimes uniquely, change their footprint to enter a market if they really want to be there. But we got to get them to that really want to be there spot if we don't have the real estate.
Well, I noticed from your presentation, you kind of talked about that retail influence campaign is right at about 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So do you guys have a strategy of what you're going to do moving forward to help kind of close some deals? It seems like we've had this contract for 2 years, and I don't know exactly what all we have to show for it yet. So where is this going? What's your approach to that for the next year?
Well, and you mentioned that 18 to 36 months is what we're seeing on average, from deal to beginning. Like I talked about, that Seven Brew deal from 2023 to now. You can see how long that is just for a little small box for what they are, to get them in place. But again, we have to put our heads together, figure out the cost and the size selection. the size hurdle that the lot size hurdle that we need to get them in place. We're bringing in some new tools. We're bringing in some more heads to figure this out. I mentioned Matt Yeager. He's our special teams project coordinator here. That's taking a deep dive into community now, so we can figure out how to land these brands here.
That's great. I appreciate you answering those questions.
Yeah,
Just a
absolutely.
quick question.
Yeah, Councilmember Erickson.
I'm gonna ask this question, and, I hope you give me the answer I wanna hear, but
Okay.
tonight we're gonna talk briefly about empowering, asking the staff to, look into entertainment district and this, that, and the other. Could you comment on if that has any benefit and attraction of people or of businesses to come to the community because they can open it up?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're currently working on, we're not working on as a whole entertainment district. There's a community out in Nebraska we're working in right now that's building an entertainment district. As we speak, I'll tell you this, it's a heavy lift. And yes, when opportunities like that arise, you have those different type of retailers that come to that. That's more your specialty and lifestyle retailers, your non-traditional, cookie cutter box space or, drive-through use. So yeah, there's definitely, aspects of that, especially when you do mixed use and you have 4 up, 1 down of retail. So those are just a different type of retailers. But to that, I saw the earlier, that was brought up for the entertainment districts. I always look at that as a plus for any community to work on entertainment districts, or revitalizing a downtown district to bring in local restaurants or even some of the national brands that feed into the local restaurant or local or mixed use retail concepts. So my advice to it is just push for it, understand, reach out to other developers that's done these projects across the board, kind of give a little bit of advice on that. I'm not sure if that's what you're asking for.
Oh, it is, and I loved your answer.
Yeah, yeah. I can point you in a couple directions if you want to see some recent projects like that.
Any other questions, Mr. Sun? All right, appreciate your presentation. Thanks for being here tonight.
Thank you. Thank you, man.
With that, and as a perfect segue that Councilmember Erickson gave us, item 11 is discussion of an entertainment district downtown. I believe Councilmember Erickson and Councilmember Brummel are going to lead this off. Who's kicking us off?
You can start. By the way, I had not spoken to Mr. South prior to the meeting.
You didn't slip in with 20 before the meeting?
No,
Okay.
no, I didn't. I think Mr. Mann spoke, I think, eloquently, if you will, on the benefits of the downtown districts. I would like to make it clear that the Fall Fun Fest and Corks and Canvas and all of these things, I think, would be benefited, but my concept, at least, is not limited to. And it obviously, downtown Blue Springs, in my opinion, is the catalyst for such a district. I know there may be other areas, but I certainly wouldn't want to limit that to just downtown. So my motion would be just some other way. So, but somebody in the CIP, it says that we already have information on state law and review of ordinances. Have we already done that?
Yeah, we did some research in preparation for tonight based on state law requirements for establishing an entertainment district, and looked at our own code to see potentially what might need to change.
So then my question is there, if we direct you or ask you to do that, to pursue it and create an ordinance for approval or denial, what time frame would you need to do that, since you've already done some research?
It's an interesting question. I think we would need to, our initial research was just that, basically what we could find, and in talking with the state Division of Alcohol and Tobacco, but we would need to further confirm what we believe to be the state law and believe to be our own codes and ordinances, and what I would suggest is we could bring back some different options for trying to accomplish what the end goal is. and knowing that some of that may not be able to be accomplished under the current state law, but what could be done either on an interim basis or how could we achieve some of the intent of doing it. But before we fully vet all of those different options, I think staff needs to do just a little bit more research to confirm some of that. Because what we provided was just looking up the law, our interpretation of it, calling the division of the state alcohol and tobacco that's in Raytown and having a quick conversation, but really diving deeper into it, I would say probably that'll take about a month, and then to draft something, maybe another 2 to 3 weeks. So 2 months.
So sometime at the end of this year, we could, I'm just asking.
It would be a good goal, yes.
Okay,
May not make that, given the holiday schedule and things, but
okay.
within the next 90 days, I'm confident we could have something back to you.
Thanks, appreciate it. Nick?
I just want to comment that we're looking to keep it family friendly. We're not trying to have an establishment where it's, you know, partying until 3, 4 in the morning type deal. It's more of just kind of like Mr. Mann said, where you're able to walk around, kind of do some of that stuff. If we have a downtown car show, be able to have an open container there and that kind of thing. It's kind of the thought process of it. But like you were talking about wanting to be able to, you know, go grab something and then go to Central Park and have a drink there and have your dinner there. I know we do a lot of great things downtown. It's just how can we enhance it and make sure that we're giving back to the businesses that are there.
Any other Councilmember Edmondson?
Well, thank you for doing this, Galen, handing out some of this information. Just really quickly, I'm in favor of doing it. I think an entertainment district would be great. My questions would be, and I guess towards staff would be, boundaries, especially, you know, what the area that would include, and then probably hours of use and days of the week that it may be available if somebody was going forward with this. Because I don't know whether you would, I guess the question that comes to mind would be like, are we doing this for events only type status where they have to come in and get a permit for it, provide security for it, that type of thing? Or are we just going to make it a little bit easier or a little bit more not restrictive to, it could be going on like on the weekends, this becomes an event district, an entertainment district where somebody could carry a beverage from one location to another, that type of thing. So I can see us, you know, trying to do it, but trying to not box ourselves in, I guess. And Galen and Nick, you guys were only bringing this forward, so I'm not trying to limit you. I'm just off the top of my head looking at this stuff. Those are kind of some of the questions I would like to have answered.
I think that's helpful to staff. Anybody else got?
Yeah, to kind of follow up on that, I think having permits and having to have security every time becomes too taxing sometimes on our businesses from what I've heard. And if we're doing that all the time, they're not going to want to do it. So it's trying to figure out what exactly the answer is on that. But if we're having to have private security at every single event and they're having to pay $60-$70 an hour, the likelihood of them going ahead and hosting something is probably unlikely.
Probably not.
But I don't know what the liquor laws are and how we're going to get around that, or not even get around that, but how we're going to work with that and figure out what the exact answer is. I don't know.
So if I may, I agree with the concerns, and I absolutely second what you're saying on that. But my concept is the simplistic one of we have a downtown district defined, I believe, by, tell me the exact name of the downtown district. Is that what it's called for CDBG and this, that, and the other? That's where I would start, with downtown Blue Springs and the district, and then leave it up to staff to go, well, that's too close to residential, whatever, but let staff do that. And we say, please do it, and then we fine tune it and go from there.
Any other discussion on this item?
Okay, and I'm thinking of another note on that. In defining areas, maybe we could also think outside areas, for example, Side Pockets does a lot of things over there. Possibility, a car show in that parking lot is being done by Sandy's. Maybe there's something there that maybe you could set it up to where you could, I don't know how to do this. I mean, you could either do it by size of venue, or you could do it, a portable, say, ordinance that would cover, say you come in and, hey, we want to do this at this area, does that fall underneath the entertainment district area? I don't want to necessarily box it in to say it's downtown. Maybe we could do other areas and come back and do that, and that way it would benefit more people within one, as far as the businesses, but also make it more convenient for maybe entertaining different groups that come for something different.
Your Honor, I do have a motion that might.
If you have a motion, I think staff would appreciate it.
Yeah, well, I think it might answer all those. I wasn't sure whether I should read this or not, but I'm gonna do it because it'll make more sense. So if I may, I move that the city council direct city staff to research and prepare a proposed ordinance for the city of Blue Springs. The proposed ordinance shall consider applicable Missouri statutes, experiences from other cities, and the unique needs of our community, with the goal of establishing an entertainment district framework for Blue Springs. Said ordinance shall be presented to the council for discussion and potential adoption at the first meeting of January of 2026 or before.
I have a motion from Councilman Erickson. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion on Councilmember Erickson's motion?
The only discussion I have is, Mike, does that give you guys enough time if we put a deadline on that, or do we need to?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, 90 days, I mean.
Okay.
Yeah, be right about that time for the first meeting in January.
Your Honor, I just want the entertainment district framework, I hope, answers the framework for wherever it may be, whether it's at Side Pockets or someplace else.
Okay. With that, all in favor on Councilmember Erickson's motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Next item is visitors. Don't have any visitors appearance forms, so we'll go to council member comments. Any council members have anything to add this evening?
I'm sure you're going to bring it up, the National Night Out, so I'll let you do that.
No, go ahead and talk about it.
Well, just to remind everybody, we do have National Night Out. It is tomorrow. It'll run from 5:30 till it gets dark, mostly, usually, and then people start kind of wandering away. But we do invite you to come downtown. I don't know whether the chief wants to comment on this. Okay, I know the department's done a lot of work on gathering people and vendors and down. They have free food and a lot of people and some entertainment, so we invite you to come down.
Thank you. I think you covered it. Thanks to all our sponsors and everyone who's helped.
Yeah, and this is located in the municipal lot that's just east of the public safety building, basically between 11th Street and 10th Street.
Be the specific times 5:30 to 8 o'clock.
Yep.
And because I see Teresa with Downtown Blue Springs in the audience, there will also be a very special unveiling that will be happening as well, isn't there?
Yes, it's
Some new artwork that will be unveiled downtown, so that'll be exciting. Also, who I affectionately call Frickin' Frack will probably be on the microphones again this year. Is that right, Councilmember Kaler? Yes, sir. Councilmember Kaler will be emceeing the event.
Do you need notes for that?
No, they do a great job every year without it.
Okay.
Okay. The only thing I would add then, next week on Wednesday, on October 15th at 6 o'clock, I'll be doing a town hall here in this room about our strategic plan. So the council passed a strategic plan last month, I believe. And so get an update on community on a lot of what's going on with that. So 6 o'clock in this room. It'll be on Facebook as well. Otherwise, that's all the events I've got between now and the next council meeting. I will accept a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, no? We are adjourned.